Peace and love, family. It's your girl, Sixthegoddis. And keep in mind, I'm a goddess and I'm sensitive about my shift. Hope y'all are doing well. I am doing amazing. I wanted to make this video to give kind of my perspective, my opinion on Ayesha Curry, unfortunately, once again, going viral for her words and things she has to say about her family, her husband, and this, that, and the third. So I'm going to kind of give my perspective here. I already went over this in full in my Patreon, my 6 at 6 show. I have a weekly live show. It's called 6 at 6 every Wednesday at 6 p.m. It's exclusively on that Patreon. And we went over the full episode of this most recent interview that Ayesha did with the Call Her Daddy. Now, side note, honestly, completely unrelated to any of this, but so tired of these mid and mediocre white women that they force on us and push in the algorithm. I am so exhausted of these unflavored, unseasoned white girls that they just blow up and push. I'm exhausted of it. All these beautiful, talented Black women out here doing content, and honey, the algorithm just suppress us, and they go out their way to get the most unflavored, most mediocre white women. But anyway, that's beside the point. We watched the whole interview in the Patreon, and after watching the whole interview, it was like, ooh, I don't think this is what we all thought it was. I admit there was a point I felt the need to jump on the Ayesha Curry hate train, but after it's been years and she begins to say certain things, at some point you got to stop and say, let's think about what's going on here. All right. Now we're gonna bring this up, but before we bring this up, I want to bring up today's look. So I have a women's only Patreon in which I get ready for my content live. And while I am getting ready, we have Girl Talk about a plethora of different, very helpful subjects, from, your looks to fitness to family to finance to education and it is a great community of like-minded, solution-oriented women, okay, who are not victims or just want to be places, people to make you feel better about yourself, even if you're not doing that well, okay? It is winning women, doing the work, sharing information. We have movie nights, we have get-togethers, we have a Discord, we have meetings about money and entrepreneurship, finance. I have all type of exclusive content and videos that I do just for the group. So it's 2 separate Patreons. The link to both will be in the description. And I would love to have you. If you're tired of being mean and ugly, come to death row, baby. All right. So I've been working with women for a long time. And one thing I know about marriage, which is unfortunate, but it's just a part of the game, is you would be surprised how much of a wife's life is spent covering for her husband or making him out to be better than what he is. And often wives stuck in those dynamics, they always have these mini cries for help that they give out, but you got to kind of know to know. And after years of Ayesha having these like intrusive thoughts come out and these blurbs, I guess we could call it, at some point I think it becomes dangerous to continuously silence her and be like, shut up, you should be grateful for where you're at, be quiet, how dare you have a problem with it? Like, hear me out. What if there is some validity to what she says? And watching the entire interview for once, like actually just being unbiased, listening to what she had to say, I have a whole different perspective of that woman, and her saying the things she says is making a lot more sense. First of all, I want to just let this be known. The whole dating athletes, entertainers thing, I think that if you're the type of person that thinks it's a glamorous, wonderful life and a lucky life, you maybe have never dated one of them, because it's not that. The reality about dating the athletes and the entertainers and all that is they do not care. That's exactly how you're treated. You are treated like you should just be happy to be here, shut up, sit down, eat your rice, and be grateful. Okay? Not every woman in this world wants that. Okay? And I'm going to explain what I mean by that. So I'm going to pull up a specific part of this interview that made my spidey senses go off. I'm not going to play the entire thing because I don't have time, for no claims or anything like that. But this is the part that I want us all to listen to and I want us to break down. I'm going to pull this up so we can all take a listen together. And once again, this is Ayesha on Call Her Daddy.
There are a lot of people in sports that don't obviously have to.
I'm going to be periodically moving the visuals on and off the screen, just so y'all know, okay?
Go through as much of the conversation around like fame and spotlight as you and your husband have had to. How did being in the spotlight impact your relationship in the early days? Because you guys didn't know how to handle it.
It's a double-edged sword because parts of it have afforded me doors to be open. I obviously have to walk through them and then put in the work to stay in the room. But that I think would be the elephant in the room is like, I'm grateful for that side of things. But on the flip side, I in the beginning hated it so much. I did not sign up for that. I also always thought
now notice when she says, I did not sign up for that. When she said that, that was my first thing that kind of made me go, Specifically when she said, I didn't sign up for that. I'm like, interesting. Tell us more, Ayesha. Go on.
I didn't know that he was going to end up playing basketball. He said he wanted to be a high school basketball coach.
Let's stop right there. Okay. Now listen to me. If you go into a marriage telling someone one thing, like, hey, this is the plan, you have to stick to that. Bait and switch in marriage is abuse. Ayesha married Stefan thinking she was marrying a high school basketball coach that would be home by 7 p.m. every night. Okay. Now, in the interview, she also speaks about how in her childhood, she was completely sheltered. Her family didn't even let her go to so much as a high school football game. Okay. And then all of a sudden she turns 18 and they put her on a plane and ship her to LA to try to become a model. Now, what this signals to me is your family felt like you was pretty light skinned with light eyes and treated you like a meal ticket. They purposely did not allow you to get to know yourself, learn how to assert boundaries, explore. They purposely locked you up and kept you in the house and kept you sheltered so that you could get them out the hood. That's kind of the vibes I'm getting. And that is more common than you all would think. Okay. Because that is so she can't even go to a high school football game. Then she turns 18. You ship her on a plane to LA, tell her you're going to pay 1 month of her rent, and then she got to figure it out from there. Okay. All right. No, but okay. Then she speaks about how when she started dating Stefan, they were young. And she speaks about how, the relationship was naturally growing. And at one point she went to him and said, hey, I love you. I'm in love with you. And Steph's response was, I'll get back to you on that. Then something happened in between that time and a month or two later, where she says that all of a sudden he comes to her and is like, hey, yeah, I love you. And let me tell you my theory, because I just know how things go. First of all, this whole Steph Curry, All-American, light skin, light eyes, good boy, go to church thing, I don't buy it for a second. You could call it what you want to call it. Okay. I don't buy it. Have we all ever stopped to think why every time Ayesha has these blurbs and things like that, Steph has never came out one time and said anything? Every time she has these light little blurbs, Steph be like acting like he be trying to hurry up and move along. It didn't happen. You overdo the all-American Christian family man image, which I don't buy at all. So let's be open-minded here. I'm sure that a light-skinned, fake, overly religious persona raised in a two-parent NBA household with a consistently cheating father, oh, I'm sure he's a joy to be around. Oh, I'm sure that he is an amazing partner to have. I hope you're hearing the sarcasm here. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's great in relationships, because the reality is this. I can totally see Steph's father thinking that he had all the sense and being like, yeah, son, no one gives their sons worse advice about women than their dad. It need to be studied. Okay. Old, bitter men that ruin their lives and their marriages. And then they're like having their sons pick up where they left off. They be the worst ones. I'm going to tell y'all what I know, especially the ones that sat around and watched their mama have her humanity be taken away and have their dad running around and have her never really stand up for themselves. Those be the men in this weird place in between wanting women to have a voice and stand up for themselves, and then in the same breath also being told that if she stand up for herself, she don't respect you, you got to put her in her place. I would not be surprised if Steph's father, being retired from the NBA himself, told him, well, if she told you she loved you, that means she loved you more. You know what, son? Don't even tell her you going into the NBA. That way you know she'll be a real one. Because there's no way that he overnight decided, oh, I want to be in the NBA. No, that had to have been on your radar. And to me, it gives, your daddy probably told you, yeah, son, you want to make sure she a real one? Yeah. Because toxic men always have some type of test for women. And real women don't do tests unless they in school. Okay. So I could totally see his dad being like, yeah, don't tell her you're going to the NBA. That way you know she a real one. If she already told you she love you, that's the one you need to go ahead and be with. Why? Because if they want Steph to get up in there and become the face of the NBA, we all know that when it comes to being representatives in big, big money with big, big checks and big, big investments, the men have to be married and have a family. They have to be. Single men have nothing to lose, no one to hold them accountable, and they're a bull in a china shop. Men also know that it takes a certain level of wherewithal for a man to maintain a family. So when they're talking big money and things that they're investing in, they want the man to have a family he sustains, because that tells you a lot about it. Unhealthy men can't even sustain a family for a year or two, and they're going to start folding. Okay. So Steph's father definitely knew that for Steph to be what they wanted him to be, the All-American West Coast basketball face of the league, he would need to be married with a child. Okay. So I can totally see them thinking they had all the sense, because I'm not buying for a second that Steph, after he marries Ayesha, then all of a sudden wake up the next day and decides, hey, I'm going to be in the NBA. I don't believe that. I believe they always knew that's where he was going and what he was doing. And I think that he purposely was telling her, like, yeah, I'm going to be a high school basketball coach, for some in his mind, thinking that's how I know she'll love me for me. Okay. That's what it gives to me. Now we're going to keep on this clip. I'm just prefacing this. Okay. I think it is so dangerous to have a woman subconsciously crying out for help, and you're constantly silencing her, saying, shut up, be grateful. And when it comes to a manipulative or abusive spouse, having the entire world be saying that, y'all have no idea how that could affect her at home behind closed doors. And he can pull up all these comments like, see, everyone. And the way that he doesn't speak up and say anything about it, be having me be like, deep down, does he know that there's some validity in that? If you have plans to be an actor, be in the NBA, NFL, the woman you're with needs to know that. You damn near signed this girl up to be the first lady of the NBA, and you're so manipulative that you thought, I can lie about who I am and my plan for this marriage because it's okay, because surprise, I'm a millionaire and I'm going to be in the NBA. Not every woman wants that lifestyle. I can't believe how difficult it is for people to understand that. To know that a woman can have that lifestyle of being with the athlete and being with the actor and actively chooses not to and says, no, I'd rather have a man that works and is home by 7 and that I can actually be treated like a human being. I'm gonna hold y'all hand when I say this. There's women like that. Just because a woman look like she can get an athlete or may have them on her radar doesn't mean she wants to sign up for that lifestyle, because it's not a pretty lifestyle and none of them hoes be happy for real. Let's continue with the clip. I want us to finish this thought here.
Like I thought I was gonna be like the girl out there getting it, so I didn't know.
Now, when Ayesha says that she thought that she was going to be the girl out there getting it, it's because that's what was promised to her. She was in LA trying to be a model, work on her career. That she was honest with Steph about that. She told him exactly. So that was the plan she thought she was going into. He was going to coach. She was going to do her modeling and all that. That's what she signed up for. Okay. Let's keep going. So I don't like when people spread this narrative like, oh, she's saying that she don't like her kids. She's saying Steph is not her type. That is not at all what she's saying. Are we actually listening to what she's saying here? That was the program. That was the agreement. She's not making this up. That's literally what they were doing. That's what she was doing, what they were doing when they met. Like what?
And so it just like, it was weird. And sports fans are so different than like maybe entertainment world fans. And oftentimes it's like very ruthless. And so I think I wasn't expecting that either. I remember like one time right after my first was born, she was whiny. So I was like, let me just nurse her in the back seat. And Stefan was putting a bike or something in the trunk. And this woman like opens the car door and she sticks her head in and she's like, I just wanted to see the baby. And I'm like, oh, excuse me. And she looks me dead in my face and goes, oh, honey, you know what you signed up for. And then like shuts the door on me.
Now, honey, you a better woman than me, because the way I would have put my baby in that front seat, I would have swallowed my baby and put my baby in that front seat, baby. The way I would have grabbed that bitch by her ears and drug her ass in that car and locked that door, baby, it would have need to be studied. I'm going to tell you right now, I know for a fact I ain't got it up here to even be dealing with all that, honey. I wish I would. I'll say like that, honey. Oops, excuse me. All right. And let's not be naive here. All right. That's exactly what I mean when I say a woman need to be ready to sign up for that lifestyle. Also, let's not be naive as well, that if a woman had that much gumption to sit there and do all that, if you think she ain't dealt with your husband or dealing with your husband in some type of way, you crazy. There's a reason why she felt comfortable to do that. And that's exactly why you need to be honest with a woman before she signs up for that lifestyle with you. Okay. This woman in the car nursing her firstborn child. All right. Let's finish this clip.
And I was just crying because I was like postpartum. I was just bawling my eyes out. And I'm like, what? Like, is this what it's going to be like?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
And so that the beginning phases were kind of scary for me.
And as a woman, like, did you ever experience any type of like direct scrutiny over just like you or what you looked like or how you were acting?
Oh, all the time. I feel like I still do. And that's okay. But
how did that impact you though early on when you were like, I'm still not equipped to handle this? Because now you're like seasoned. Yes, it affects you, but you now have the tools of like, I've been here before. I know exactly how to handle this moment.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean it doesn't still hurt.
It was so depressing. And also it was during that time when this like social media thing was just ramping up. And so people were going buck wild. And just spewing opinions on things that didn't warrant opinions. And so I think for a while, yeah, I was very critical of myself because of the things that I was seeing.
It's so hard also to be the woman in a situation where you're like, men just don't get as much scrutiny. Like they can maybe tell him like, your fucking shots suck tonight, but like the looks and all of that is just like not a factor of conversation as much.
No.
Did you talk to Steph about it? Like, or did you kind of keep it within yourself so it didn't?
I do not have a bone in my body that can keep anything to myself. So if it comes to mind, it's coming out. And he's so gracious. Like he tries to resonate with me, but he just can't. And he also comes from a place of like, it's effing stupid. Like, it's not true. So why are you? And I'm like, but wait, like, listen to how it makes me feel. And he's like, but why does it make you feel like that? It's not real.
I mean, that's so men where you're like, no, wait, but I want to talk about it for 4 more hours. Yeah. Can we just sit down? And they're like, do you want me to solve it for you? It's not real. We both know it's not real, blah, blah.
He's like, no, go to bed.
Go to sleep. You're like in the bathroom brushing your teeth. You're like, another thing. You like pop out. He's like,
quite literally.
Can you share like something that was said about you in the early days to just like paint the picture?
Gosh,
no one knows.
Me on the spot. Okay, this one's kind of funny.
Okay. Okay. Now it's funny.
This one's kind of funny because at a certain point, like I do have a round face.
Oh my God.
So like at a certain point, this was true because I was a little weightier. But there was this thing going around that said there's 2 things. It was like that I look like SpongeBob's mom.
Hold, please. Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! 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 I'm done. I'm done. I'm out. Whoever said the good sis looked like this, count your days. Count your days. Whoever said she looked like this, you're going to hell. Why does she look? You know what? I can't do this. Whoever did this, you going to hell. I want you to know. I want you to know God sees everything. Why would someone do this? I'm done. I'm finished. Okay, so let's go ahead and talk about this. So she gets with Steph. He withholds from her, hey, by the way, we're over here plotting on how to get me in the NBA and have me the face of it. In the interview, she states that her family had her working since she was 3 years old. Her family never let her have no life, never let her go anywhere. They had her modeling and on set and all type of stuff like that from when she was 3. That definitely gives one of those families similar to Vanessa Bryant, where they have one pretty girl in the family and the whole family puts their well-being on her back. And it sounds like her family and Steph's family kind of conspired together to tell her, listen, honey, he's rich. He's going to NBA. You need to go ahead and do this. That's what it gives. It gives even her family probably knew what he was signing up for, but she did not know. I don't put anything past those families that, lock their daughters up because they want her to work to make money for them. I don't put nothing past them. They be ops on the low. So let's get this straight. She speaks about how she got pregnant so soon after they got married. Okay. Now, something that I know, I can always tell a marital dynamic where the man looks at the woman as almost a doll that just is there to dance, and you're going to do what I need you to do to advance myself, because I want y'all to understand this. Steph did not change anything about his life trajectory. That man still went and did and still doing all the things that he wanted to do. He did not skip or miss a beat. He needed that wife and those children in order to go. His dad probably counseled him, hey, this girl like you more than you like her. She already told you she love you. You don't even love her. She don't even know you're going into the NBA. She works at what you need, so she don't take half. That's what this is giving. So now we're all telling Ayesha, shut up, be quiet, be happy, when this girl modeled her whole life. Steph knew she was a model. We wonder why what Ayesha is doing. She is mourning the life that she was promised, was baited and switched out of, and then told that she can't feel a way about it because what's wrong with you? He's in the NBA and he's rich. When she signed up for her to be the model / career person, him to coach basketball. And I also can always tell those unhealthy dynamics where the man looks at this woman as, I'll make her do what I want her to do to fulfill what I need, when she pops up pregnant. A married woman should never get pregnant unless her and the husband have actively decided we're going to start trying. Anytime I hear a married woman say, oh my God, I didn't know. Oh my God, I'm pregnant. I had no idea this was happening. I'm like, that tells me everything I need to know. It's the equivalent of your wife going out and like buying a investment property and saying, hey, yeah, I bought this property and you gonna pay the mortgage on it, okay? So that's your husband getting you pregnant without talking to you about it, and y'all deciding and then saying, yeah, go ahead and risk your life and your body and go give birth. Wait a minute, she didn't agree to that. Anytime a married woman, oh my God, I don't know what happened, I got pregnant, I'm like, we know what that means, okay? So she's saying that, so what Steph did is doesn't tell her that he's going into the NBA, waits until after he marries her. I tell any girl, especially the girls in my group, any girl I talk to, you get married in your 20s, you wait 2 years minimum before having a child. You get married in your 30s, you wait 1 year. Why? Because abusive people look at marriage as, oh, I can do whatever I want now. Abusive people look at marriage not as the start of something new, but a finish line of the masking. And you and those men who marry you and get you pregnant right away, or get you pregnant so you will marry them, they're doing that because there's a bomb dropping at some point, and they want you to be stuck. They want you to already be knee deep in the game and unable to get out before whatever weird stuff happens that's going to come out. So the very fact that they got married and without her consent, he just decides to shoot the club up and get her pregnant. And there's a lot to that. We're going to just leave it at what she said. That says a lot. They didn't have to have those kids right away. She just had a baby. They could have been having their children now. Shout out to the good ancestor, Frances Cress Welsing, who told us that Black women ain't got no business even having no children before the age of 29. They just had a study come out where, lo and behold, surprise, it was all a lie. Women's eggs indeed do not go lower in quality as we age. Come to find out, it's men's sperm and semen that does. Their sperm and semen goes down in quality with age, not ours. So there is absolutely no reason at all that they couldn't have waited until now to have their children. There's no reason at all that Ayesha couldn't have still been doing her career, got her education. She said that when she married him, she wanted her and him to travel, party, have fun. But you know why that couldn't happen? Because Steph and his family had a mission for him, and she was a pawn in it. So Steph waits until they're married and knocks her up to say, hey, by the way, I'm joining the NBA and I'm going to be the face of it, the All-American NBA good boy face of the entire league. And then, do you know how painful that is? Bait and switch in marriage, in my opinion, is the worst thing you can do, because essentially you're taking advantage of the fact that this woman loves you and takes marriage seriously, to the point where you feel like, yeah, that might have been what we agreed to, but once I get in here, I'm going to switch it up. And what's she going to do about it? Because I know she respects marriage and I know she's going to be here. And God forbid, in her situation, now you already pregnant. That is so fucked up. And we wonder why to this day she has the resentment. That's what she signed up for her to be the attention, for her to be the one that had the career in the spotlight. That's what Steph agreed to. Now we see why he is quiet as a mouse every time these issues come up. It's not because he's a loyal husband having her back. It's because he knows she's right. And especially the women that sit here co-signing all this, she's ungrateful. You definitely need to stop, because at any moment you could be Ayesha Curry, maybe not to the same degree of the NBA and millions, but you would be surprised how many unhealthy men are out there that can't wait till they marry and become a whole different person overnight. That does happen. So I don't know why y'all are doing that, because the only reason why the men are sitting here, blowing this up, and y'all are sitting there putting batteries in their back to agree with it, is because they already don't want to marry nobody. They already tell everybody, oh, you can't make a woman happy. You can't. They're already doing that. So the only reason why they even care or are even attempting to hold her accountable in this is so they can say, see, you give a bitch everything and it's not enough. Sir, you are not Steph Curry. Stop. You stock the shelves overnight at Home Depot on your best day. I can't stand when people do that. I saw a man talk about something. Don't listen to these women, fellas. If they really like you, they gonna do a whole lot. Look how they do with Chris Brown, for example. Nigga, you is not Chris Brown. Stop this. Same with girls that be like, you can leave your baby daddy and you can divorce and you'll find another man. Look at Sierra. Ho, you is not Sierra. Look at Sierra. No one looks like Sierra. Stop this. We got to stop doing this weird thing where we take these celebrity, multi-million-dollar international superstar examples and try to be like, see, that's why you ain't Chris Brown, you ain't Sierra, you ain't Steph Curry. You are safe from using them as an example. Stop it. All that need to stop. It's purely delusional. Okay? We have got to stop doing this thing where just because something looks away on the outside, we believe it. Now, this is where Ayesha go wrong. Ayesha, what do you want us to do about this? Your life was stolen from you. Ayesha, I'm going to hold your hand when I say this. If no one else has validated you, I'm going to validate you today. I understand exactly what you're saying, and I understand why it hurts so bad, and I understand why you can't get over it. But the reality is, sis, it happened. You were robbed. The reality is, for the rest of your life, you'll always have to think about the fact you were robbed. I don't know what to tell you, sis. And I know that hurts. Imagine your whole life, just from a child, you were just sheltered and never, ever given any autonomy over your life. Every human being deserves to have autonomy over their life. It's so easy for us to say, she's ungrateful. She's ungrateful. You have no idea what it's like to see a life, not that you necessarily wanted, but was promised to you. It's more than just she wanted to know. It was promised to her. Her husband agreed to it and then switched it around on her. And we wonder why she does these random cries for help here and there. And instead of listening and saying, okay, let's be open-minded to what she's saying, we're always just like, oh, shut up. Be happy. Be happy you're here. And it's extremely dangerous and problematic. And the only reason why they want any of this to happen is so that the men can come say stuff like this. Everybody wants to not listen so they can try to use this conversation as though Steph Curry is God's gift to earth and just the best thing since sliced bread, and how, you just can't make these women happy. This is the narrative going around right here.
A bitch can have everything. Real life, Ayesha Curry is the perfect example is that a bitch can have everything in the fucking world and it's still not enough. The greatest example of that. Gang. You told all of us, I didn't want to be married. I didn't want kids. I thought I was going to be the career-driven woman. Steph wasn't my type, and I thought he was going to be a basketball coach. Once you found out that nigga was going to the league, bitch, you took the opportunity. That's what this is.
See? He don't even know the story. They just could not wait to jump on this. Be like, see, this is why we ain't getting married. We can't make y'all happy. See, even if we're in the NBA, we have $1 billion. Y'all still ain't. She didn't even know he was going to the NBA when she married that man. Out her own mouth. Are y'all even listening? At some point, at what point do everybody say, let's just stop repeating the same thing everybody else saying and let's actually listen for a second and think? That girl never said she wasn't his type. He wasn't her type. Matter of fact, she told him, I love you first. He told her he don't love her. That woman, I know y'all are so hurt, but I'm going to hold y'all hand when I say this. What if she actually genuinely loved him? She genuinely loved him and she wanted to work. He told her he was down with that. He got her pregnant without her consent. He got her pregnant without her saying, yeah, I'm ready to have a baby right now. He married her for his own gain and to get where he needed to be. Because trust and believe, Steph would not be the face of the good boy, church, family man face of the league if it was not for her and them 4 kids. And that's why he needed her to have them kids immediately when he married her. That's why he couldn't wait till let her do her thing. Let them learn, let them live a little bit. He couldn't do that because he needed those children. Because again, Steph's whole MO is to be as non-threatening as possible. That's why he's able to be where he's at. So it's so funny to see these narratives go around. It's like, boy, y'all just couldn't wait. This is the dangers of confirmation bias. It blinds you. Okay. Let's listen to the rest. This is the narrative going around.
Nothing more, nothing less. Now you see all the attention that these other bitches is getting and all this stuff like that, and you want to be just like them. Disrespecting your husband on these podcasts, like he wasn't my type, all that extra shit. Nobody forced you to be a wife. Nobody forced you to be a mom. You could have did whatever you wanted to do.
Actually, she couldn't have. Actually, she couldn't have. Her family pimped her. Her family literally made it so that she wouldn't know how to assert a boundary, would not know how to advocate for herself. And then she falls in love with Steph, and he often marries her and knocks her up without her consent. So literally everything you're saying is not true. But let's continue. Let's let him keep going.
But you saw that come up and you took it. Now all you do is embarrass your fucking husband and want male validation. You want to be a hoe. And all you females talking about, oh, I can relate. I know how she feels. But how when half of y'all ain't been married? Shut up.
Oh, there you go. You had never been married. How do you know? When people don't even have like a real like answer behind what they're saying, it's oh, you ain't got no man. How you know? Okay. All right. Whatever. So that's a narrative that's going around. Come to find out, none of it is true. Come to find out, Steph married her as a model where, yes, she would be getting attention. It's not the male validation. It's that the roles got reversed. She got bait and switched. Steph easily could have went and got a woman that want to be a wife of an NBA player. But you know why he didn't? Because I'm sure his daddy told him, no, because she's going to be a gold digger. Because he knew that if he wanted a woman who genuinely loved him. That's why he chose Ayesha. Y'all don't understand that? He didn't want to go choose a woman who knew he was going to the league and knew what he was going to do, because his father probably was counseling him like, yeah, get a woman who really won't shoot for you. Men be so overly focused on that. Everybody want to be with someone because you contribute something to them. All that, I want to be able to not be nothing for you, but I want you to be there for me, is honestly weird behavior. So then Steph does that and then goes on and accomplish everything he wants to accomplish on her back. And now she's told, oh, well, you should be happy because he in the NBA. Okay. Ayesha, the reality is, my opinion is, marriages are sacred things. The internet is not what it used to be. And I think it's time that we understand that. There was one point where social media was a place, where it was like, oh, look, I graduated today. Oh, look, I did this today. And look at my pretty dress today. And people will say, oh, that's nice. It's not like that anymore. Okay. And in a perfect world, people will say, oh, social media is because somebody, just because somebody puts something on social media, it doesn't mean that everyone should be able to have an opinion about it and should be able to talk about it. That sounds great in a perfect fairy tale world. But if we're being honest, that's the way the game goes. Once it's on the internet, that's it. You have regular couples who might share the smallest thing about their marriage on TikTok or something. Before you know it, it goes viral and it blows up. In my opinion, marriages are sacred, not social. The minute you take something sacred and you put it on social media, God help you. One of the main things that affects whether or not a married couple will stay together is community support and agreement. And I don't care who you are. Having thousands, millions of people rip apart something you said or did about your marriage is extremely taxing on the union. Why invite that in? Second of all, it doesn't matter what someone shows on social media about a relationship. We never know what's going on behind closed doors with someone for real. Dare I say, the couples who are truly healthy and fulfilled do not find the need to prove that to the internet. In my opinion, as someone who works on the internet, the more a couple tries to force a certain narrative or a certain persona about their relationship on social media, the more it's the opposite behind closed doors. You can't even post your children online anymore. You post your child with a lollipop. Before you know it, now the dark web has used that to create AI kitty corn of them and take the lollipop and put something else there. You can't even post your kids on social media anymore. I don't know why people still treat social media like, oh, it's this fun place. It's not. So the thing is, Ayesha, This is a very painful L that you have to take, sis. But you're going to need serious therapy to figure out how to cope with this. I don't even have the answer for you because I know I ain't talking, because I couldn't handle that either. I'm going to be honest with you. I could never handle knowing that someone tricked me out of my life like that. I'm sorry. So I'm saying this easier for me to say, I couldn't even do it. I couldn't even do this, but I got to still say it to you. I don't have no answer for you on how you cope with this, because honestly, this would not be something I could handle myself. But the thing is, Ayesha, what can we do about this? We can't do anything about it. Stop putting your sacred marriage on social media. I also think Ayesha is a little bit ADHD, because it seemed like I don't think she sometimes hears how she sounds. And if you have ADHD, you need to be very self-aware of your tone and what you're saying, because I think when she does certain things in regard to her marriage, I do not believe she's purposely doing it to hurt or to embarrass. I think she genuinely thinks she's either expressing herself or being funny. I believe that woman loves that man. I think she's just in a permanent state of mourning what she was promised and what was taken away from her. That's what I think. I think that we need to stop putting so much power in money and fame. The only people, in my opinion, that uplift dating them are the people who never have. It's not what y'all think. And nobody is above the program. We don't know. Steph could not be behind closed doors for all we know. Okay. Now, once again, if y'all want to see the full breakdown, it will be in my Patreon, the 6 at 6 Patreon, if y'all do want to see it. We did the full breakdown, but I just wanted to give a different perspective. Y'all are so desperate to see these women just want your money and want to use you, and they ain't never happy. Y'all are so desperate to confirm those biases that it's just causing you to not think. And it's causing you to affect and attack a woman and children and a family for absolutely no reason. That woman is hurting. Y'all don't know how. It's the same as men who were MOLESTED as children by their babysitter or teacher. And everyone says, oh, for real, bro? You slept with your teacher or babysitter? Oh, bro, you the man. You should be happy. And this child has been raped. And everyone says, what's wrong, man? You got your babysitter, bro. I know what we're talking about, bro. He was molested. Imagine being abused and everyone telling you, man, you should be happy about it. Okay? So I'm not about to come down on the good, sis. I understand where you're coming from. Yes, you were robbed. Yes, he manipulated you out of your life for his own gain. And whenever a man hurts you to lower his own risk, there is no love there. He wanted to make sure he married a woman who really loved him and wasn't there for the fame and the NBA and the money. He needed those kids. He needed that wife cosign. He never cared about how it hurt you. He still doesn't care, sis. If no one else will tell you, I'm going to tell you. Trust me, I see through it. I hear what you're saying without you saying it, and I see what's up without you showing me. Okay? I understand, sis, but the reality is this is where you're at. I don't know what you could do. You could wait till the youngest turned 18, then leave. I don't know. But by then it's too late, a year old, it's over anyway. So basically you're stuck, and that sucks for you. Damn. Well, this is why you got to have big sisters. You got to have people in your corner who can help you navigate these things, because, man, it's a dog eat dog world out there. I'm really curious to know y'all thoughts and opinions on this. Please tell me, do you see where I'm coming from? Do you don't? Do you agree with me? Do you not? Is she ungrateful? Should she just shut up and eat her rice? Should any woman that gets so lucky to be with an athlete, should she just be happy to be there? Y'all let me know what y'all think. And why you not subscribe to my channel? Excuse me, please subscribe. Thank you. Like the video, and I will see you on the next one.